Good afternoon. We start your 4 to 5 with two top developing stories: the mass shooting in Raleigh and food insecurity across the Triad.
Right now, we've got team coverage following both of these stories. WFMY News 2's Ben Briscoe is live in Raleigh, and Chad Silber is live in Greensboro. Let's start with you, Ben. 5 people are dead and a 15-year-old is in custody. I mean, last night's scene was chaotic. What does it look like now?
Right now, if you look behind me, the flags outside this neighborhood in Raleigh are at half staff, as well as the rest of North Carolina. Just a few moments ago, we did see 2 police cars drive into the neighborhood, but really, most of the police presence at this point has moved out of the neighborhood. It is a totally different scene than this time yesterday. Around 5 o'clock yesterday, police swarmed the area as frantic homeowners sheltered in place. Investigators say a 15-year-old boy shot 2 people in the street and 3 more walking on a trail nearby. And then 2 more people also were injured in this shooting. The 5 victims who died were of different races and ranged from 16 to their late 50s. One of them was an off-duty officer on his way to work. News of the shooting has vibrated across the nation, with people sharing the hashtag Raleigh Strong.
Today we're sad. We're angry, and we want to know the answers to all the questions.
Police took the suspect into custody. They are saying that they do not have a motive that they can release to the public yet, but they hope to get that information out to us soon. We're going to continue to stay out here and on top of this developing story. You can always get the latest on WFMYnews2.com.
Ben, thank you. Across the nation, we're seeing several reports of officers hurt or killed by gunfire. Just this week, 7 officers were shot and 5 more were killed. Over the course of the year, 55 law enforcement officers were killed compared to 62 last year. Our thoughts and prayers are with the entire state of North Carolina and the families directly impacted. Stick with us for continuing coverage throughout the evening.
All right, let's turn to our other top story now. The silent crisis attacking our community. Hunger is often described as silence because it's an issue that you can't usually see. Here in Guilford County, there are 18 food desert areas that don't have easy access to supermarket or large grocery store chains. While food insecurity is a constant obstacle, the need is higher now more than ever, really. Right now, WFMY News 2's Chad Silber live at the Harris Teeter and Friendly Center hosting Food to Families campaign. And Chad, how can people help out?
Boy, Eric, I just had the most incredible encounter with a woman who just dropped off 3 huge bags of groceries right here. I would say this is probably 30 to 40 pounds of groceries that she just dropped off just a minute ago. And she said to me, thank you so much for doing this, because last year I was one of those people who went to the Greensboro Urban Ministry to get food. I was, in a rough situation. I went there, they helped me, they provided food. I don't need that assistance anymore, and so now I am giving it back. It just touches your heart when you hear that. And really, this is all you have to do is drop off food donations here or at any of the participating locations. There are 25 grocery stores accepting donations around Guilford County. Today we are at the Harris Teeter at Friendly Center until 6 p.m. collecting items. The drive will run tomorrow as well. Cash donations, you can bring them here, but they would prefer, if you are going to donate money, that you do it online. And there is a QR code on the bottom right corner of your screen where you can actually put your phone camera toward it and you can make a monetary donation that way. But as you're thinking about the importance of donating, let me just show you how serious the need is in our community. This video of the Greensboro Urban Ministry Food Pantry is video from this week. As you can see, people are busy coming through. Right now, organizers say they're serving about 60 households a day to 125 families. So think about the need and think about the importance of any donation that you're able to make. We have seen grocery prices go up over the past couple of months thanks to rising inflation. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. And so now is the time when you're really able to make a difference. We're going to be talking to one of the gentlemen over there who is making this happen in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.
It's a great event. Any little bit can help. Thank you so much, Chad. And Tim, I was out there earlier today. Beautiful weather to go out there and, give back to those in need.
Yeah, I was too, Lauren. I was amazed at how warm it felt when you were standing in the sunshine. Temperatures right now are only in the upper 60s, but if you're in that sun, there's still a good amount of strength to it. Here's a live look over a couple of our Triad cities from Greensboro to Winston-Salem, Burlington, and High Point, all of them looking very nice with a pretty blue sky at the moment. Closer look at the current conditions over Greensboro. Temperature is 69 degrees. Of course, we have blue sky and sunshine, but the humidity is extremely low. We have a little bit of a breeze that's blowing right now. Temperatures are uniform. Some of us have gotten right around 70. The mountains are, of course, cooler, right around 60 degrees right now, and there is that comfortable 5 to 10 mile per hour wind and breeze that'll help to just kind of keep you cool today. Nothing to show you on satellite or on radar. Overnight tonight, what you need to know, if you're heading to a football game, it gets cool. So bring along a jacket, because once that sun goes down, we are going to cool off in a big way. This is how you start your weekend. Overnight lows in the low to mid 40s. Saturday though, a big warm up for our area. 40s early on, mid and upper 70s. That's a warm day. And it's not the only one. We'll have that full weekend forecast coming up in a couple minutes.
Well, you know, if you're in the market for a new home, those prices right now can be a little bit scary for this area at least. But according to one realtor, there are some creative ways to finance that might get you over the hump here. I spoke to realtor Melissa Greer, who says nowadays the traditional 30-year fixed rate mortgage might not be the best option.
I think it's a good time for people to look at alternative financing, get creative with an adjustable rate that might have a 3-year lock-in or a 5-year lock-in. You can usually get between 1.5% and 2% below what the fixed rates are. And most lenders feel like this is a blip, that the rates will come back down.
Greer also says the local economic climate will play a role as well.
Greensboro has so much going on that's economically strong. I feel like no matter what, I talked to a builder yesterday who was telling me about all these new builders that are coming in and buying tracts of land and starting these new developments. And they're coming from Denver and Texas, and they wouldn't be doing that if they didn't see a really strong economy here.
And if you need more information on this, make sure you look for this story when we get it up on our website, WFMYnews2.com.
Before we head to the break, Harry Potter fans across the world are mourning the loss of Scottish actor Robbie Coltrane. Coltrane is best known for his role as the gentle giant Hagrid in the popular 8-film series. Fans grew to love his character, tasked with navigating the young wizard throughout his life at Hogwarts. Coltrane's death was confirmed by his agent today. He leaves behind his sister and 2 children. He was 72 years old.
So do you want to start on a single shot?
Yeah. Can I have you talk real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Just count to 10. Just count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, right now we're approaching a major milestone in our community. This November marks the 30-year anniversary of the WFMY News 2's Food to Families campaign.
For decades, we fed our community by supporting organizations working to keep the shelves of Triad food pantries full.
Yeah, and today that mission continues as food insecurity impacts 34 million people all across our country. WFMY News 2's Chad Silber live at the Harris Teeter at Friendly Center collecting donations. How's it looking there, Chad?
So far, so good, guys. And you know, it's so important right now that you are able to donate because of the increasing food costs that we all see at the grocery store right now. One person who really knows the importance of the donation is Chip Berry, who's here with me right now. He works at Greensboro Urban Ministry. Chip, talk about the importance of receiving donations right now.
Chad, when I left the office today, there was still a line, had been a line all day long at our food pantry. Because of inflation, as you said, there's been such a spike in demand. There's always demand, but particularly right now, it's so important. This food drive is our first in several years. It will get us through the winter and be able to keep the shelves full.
It sounds like it's been pretty successful so far.
I've been to all the stores today. The volunteers have done a great job. They've all been saying it's the best year they've ever had out here. The weather's been great. We've had a really fun day out here with the food drive. Thanks so much to you all.
Absolutely. So obviously we know the importance of donating the food products.
Right.
But you obviously also take monetary donations, but why is the money important?
The money is increasingly important for us because we've changed to what's called a choice model where people can come in and pick their own food. And what do people want? They want a lot of fresh fruit, lots of fresh vegetables, and those are things that we have to go out and purchase. They're very expensive right now. Sometimes they're hard to get. So we are so grateful for all the people who make monetary donations and food donations, because without the generosity of this community, we would not be able to meet the demand that's out there.
You were telling me earlier about the importance of your volunteers as well.
Yes, absolutely. We have probably 200-300 volunteers just for this food drive. We're dependent on 2,000 plus volunteers every year in our shelter, in our food pantry, in our kitchen, and particularly in the food pantry with the choice pantry. They're able to get and interact with the clients, and our volunteers love to do that.
And for 30 years, I think that this is a great partnership, a relationship that we have established here.
Absolutely. We're so grateful to WFMY. Here today you had Wellspring out here, Blue Cross Blue Shield, all the grocery stores that participate. We're just so excited and we're grateful. This is such a giving community, and we couldn't do it with all the partners we have.
Well, that's great to hear. We're going to be out here until 6 o'clock. Chip, thank you for your time. We do appreciate it. And if you see on your screen right now, there's you can go to 29 participating locations around Guilford County today or tomorrow to make a donation. You see a QR code on the bottom right side of your screen. If you point your phone camera at it, it will bring up a website where you can donate money to Greensboro Urban Ministry. So anyway, again, we will be out here until 6 o'clock, and we hope to see you. And if you mentioned that you saw me on TV when you come out here, every person that does, I'm going to donate 50 cents to Greensboro Urban Ministry. So let's raise some money and get some food donations. Guys.
I don't think people really realize, Chad, just how big that need is. No matter how many times we say it, and we do say it a lot, it's massive in this area.
And every little bit counts. There was one woman who came up to me earlier today that said she's been on the receiving end of this, and that organizations like Greensboro Urban Ministry stepped in and helped her out, and she was just having a troubling time.
Are you getting any stories out there, Chad, people coming up and talking to you about this?
Yeah, so I was telling you all earlier in the last segment about how a woman had came up, and she came up with 3 huge grocery bags full of canned goods, and she told me she was just so appreciative that we were doing this because last year she was in that position. She had fallen on hard times, she needed food, and so she went to the Greensboro Urban Ministry and obviously was very appreciative of it. She said that she has, no longer in that situation anymore. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it. And so she felt the need to give back because she knew what it was like on the other end. So just really great stories here. And you don't have to bring a lot. You don't have to spend $20 or $10. You can even bring canned goods from your own pantry if they're not expired and you just won't eat them. So anything you can do helps, guys.
Very good. Thank you, Chad.
Everything will help. Remember, you can donate online as well. We'll be out there. Cyclists from across the Triad are turning their passion into purpose. They are biking. Several miles to raise money for women who cannot afford mammograms. It's all a part of the major Miles for Mammogram cycling event. I caught up with the organizers and a participant about how the public can help with their mission.
Sally Newman of Greensboro has spent most of her career working in higher education. After receiving a life-changing diagnosis, she has dedicated her life to teaching others about health and wellness.
I just want women to realize that we are important as well, and we wear so many hats as women, and we have to put our health, make our health and ourselves a priority.
In February of 2021, Newman was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. Doctors performed surgery the following month, removing the cancer from her body. She says her annual mammogram is what ultimately saved her life.
We get our hair done, we get our nails done, we get the pedicures, we go shopping. I said, but you really have to set a priority and make sure you get your mammogram each and every year.
Newman will share her story as a guest speaker at the 2nd annual Major Miles for Mammogram cycling event. October 15th, the Major Taylor Cycling Club of North Carolina is hosting the race to help raise money for the Cone Health Mammography Scholarship Fund. Organizers say the fund provides mammograms for women who otherwise could not afford the screening service.
It's important for women to be able to get their mammograms annually because you could miss a year, and I actually know of someone's wife who did miss a year, and her breast cancer had advanced to stage 4, and she's no longer here with us. But just people that can't afford mammograms, we don't ever want them to be in that position where they can't get a mammogram.
Tonight, there will be a pink night ride at 7 p.m. at World War Memorial Stadium on Yanceyville Street. Then tomorrow, the bike ride event will start at 7 a.m. at Barber Park. There will be various food, trucks, and wellness vendors. For details on how to register, just look for this story on our website. We'll be right back.
All right, happy Friday to you. Getting ready for the weekend. Great time to be outside. Really one of the nice times of the year, but it can be a little two-faced, right? In the mornings, it can be cold, and then the afternoon, it really warms up. This is where we were earlier this morning, and notice there's a trend here. West was colder, east was warmer. That's because we had a cold front that moved through. So tonight will be a little bit more even than that. This is our high temperature so far this afternoon. Most of us all warmed up to right around 70 degrees. And kind of the main points I want you to know about the weekend are these. Sunny, really warm, really nice for Saturday. No weather concern whatsoever. On Sunday, you're fine for the morning and the midday, but by the afternoon, the clouds will thicken up a little bit. And I think by the evening, we have a good chance of a couple of rain showers. So keep that in mind for Sunday afternoon and evening, especially if you're headed to the mountains. Also, big cold air is on the way. We're talking about that moving in middle of next week, bringing us our coldest air of the season. But for the weekend, there's no problems because of that high pressure area just kind of hanging out to our south. We'll get some of the warmer air in front of it with a southwest wind. Temperatures warm into the 70s for Saturday and Sunday. But fast forward, these are some of the low temperatures that we could be seeing next week. I expect frost is a good possibility for the first time Wednesday and Thursday mornings. Take a look here, a big temperature drop. Highs will only be in the 50s next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So this is really our first taste of very cold fall air. Get ready for that next week. Enjoy your warm weekend.
A community staple is returning to the Triad. After years of anticipation, we finally have an opening date for the Burlington carousel. That work on the Denzel carousel started in 2019.
As you can see, the ponies getting primed with fresh paint and reattached, the mechanics refurbished, plus the building is now climate controlled.
Yeah, that makes it better in the summer, I'll tell you that much. This attraction isn't just a crowd favorite, also a big piece of history. Workers first installed this in the 1940s, but the Burlington mayor, Jim Butler, says the magic started way before that.
Some of the information that we've been given over the years says that this thing was created in 1905. So over 100 years old for sure. So for the community to be able to experience that, and then for others in the region that have an affection for functional art like this, to be able to come and experience what Burlington really truly has in our core, and certainly in our city park here in the center of town, is really important to us.
Mayor Butler says he's excited to have the repairs nearly complete. The carousel is expected to reopen December 22nd, just in time for a Christmas-themed celebration. I love this. I think it's great, not just for the children, but just for families. I know when I went to the Greensboro Science Center and got on that carousel, it just brought back so many great memories. So it's great to have a staple like this back in the area.
There's a shot, the video is running behind us, but there's one of the shots where it was wide, and I said this on our Good Morning Show at 9 o'clock this morning. It looks like, it reminds me of the logo on the box of the animal crackers. You know, that little red box with a shoestring handle or whatever?
It's very old style,
it
right?
Is.
And it's something that doesn't change that much through the years. I remember growing up, there was a mall near where we lived, and it was called the Carousel Mall. And the reason was they had one in the food court, and you always heard the music, and you always got, you'd always ask at least to get on it. Maybe once in a while we did. It was fun.
That's fun. Did you ever have one anywhere near you growing up?
I think we're talking about the same one. Are you talking about the one in Syracuse?
Oh, in Syracuse,
yes.
yeah. You went to school
I went to school up there for a little bit. So when you said that, my eyes lit up. That carousel is beautiful. Everybody knows about that one.
All right, before we head to break, we want to check in on our Food to Families Drive. It's happening right now in Greensboro. We're taking a live look from outside the Harris Teeter. This is at Friendly Center.
We're collecting food donations here and at 24 other participating grocery stores. If you can't make it out but still want to help, just scan the QR code on your screen that you see here for a link to our donation site. And our Chad Silber and others with our WFOY News 2 team will be there until 6 tonight. We'll check back with him after this break. Stick with us.
I think if you just want to stand right back there, we'll come up to you. Hey, it is the same mic that I am on. Can you hear me?
Wow.
I've been doing it, man. Hello. Check, 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 check. Okay, 20 seconds away. That's great. Can you not hear him? I can hear him, man. I've been getting the mic check the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. But you couldn't.
We start your 4 to 5 today with 2 developing stories, the mass shooting in Raleigh and also the story of food insecurity across the Triad.
Right now, we've got team coverage following both of these stories. WFMY News 2's Ben Briscoe is live in Raleigh and Chad Silver is live in Greensboro. Ben, we're going to go back to you. Any updates from when we last checked in with you?
When you hear the shooting happen in Raleigh, it's tempting to think it was downtown Raleigh with all of those people. We're actually on the edge of the city. Take a look. It's an otherwise picturesque neighborhood out here. Very peaceful most of the time. And today it is a little bit back to that, although people are still on edge, understandably. It is a totally different scene than what it looked like out here yesterday around this time. At 5 o'clock yesterday, police swarmed this neighborhood as frantic homeowners sheltered in place. Investigators say a 15-year-old boy shot 7 people. 5 of them died. The 5 victims of different races and ages, ranging from 16 to their late 50s. One of them was an off-duty police officer on his way to work. Police did take the teenage suspect into custody after 4 hours after the first shots were reported. The suspect was detained at a house out here, is now in critical condition at a hospital. You know, news of this shooting has really gone nationwide. People all over are texting with the hashtag Raleigh Strong, and it's brought out a lot of people to try to help the community heal. I want to show you right over here what is going on. They are getting ready to prepare a meal for the neighbors out here tonight. Hillary, what's going on out here?
Hi, we are getting ready to serve a free meal for anybody in the community that wants to come out, and we're just going to be doing sloppy joes and sides tonight and a cookie for people.
What organization are you with, Hillary?
We are with Hope Lutheran Church in Wake Forest, North Carolina.
Why'd you want to do this?
We just really wanted people to know that somebody cares about them during this time that has to be so emotionally difficult for the community, and we want them to know that God loves them too.
This is your disaster response team. You were telling me about this trailer. Just days ago, you got it approved to be able to use it.
Yeah, we hate that it's this reason, but we're so grateful that we have the trailer and the ability to be out here and come alongside people that need some support tonight.
What do you want them to take away from tonight?
We just want them to know that they're not alone and that although evil things happen in the world, that Jesus loves them and we're here. So.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And they are not the only ones coming out here tonight. We've seen people come by all day long. It's hard to see from over here, but across the road over there, they actually started a memorial. There's some flowers in front of that sign of the neighborhood. And not only that, across the entire state, flags are at half staff. You can see in front of the neighborhood they are here too. Governor Cooper ordered it that way. He had said today that we all want answers to every question about this tragic case, and hopefully investigators will keep working on getting those answers to us very quickly. At this point, they have not released a motive for the shooting, and they have not released if any of the victims knew each other. We're still working to find out all of that information. Hopefully, we will get more soon. Right now, back to you guys.
Folks doing some great work out there. We're definitely Raleigh strong. Thank you so much, Ben. Our thoughts and prayers are with the entire state of North Carolina and the families directly impacted. Stick with us for continuing coverage throughout the evening.
Let's turn to our other top story today, the silent crisis that's attacking our community. Hunger is sometimes described as silent because it's an issue that you can't usually see. And here in Guilford County, there are 18 food desert areas that do not have easy access to a supermarket or those large grocery store chains. And while food insecurity is a constant obstacle, the need now higher than ever. Right now, WFMY News 2's Chad Silver live at the Harris Teeter and Friendly Center hosting our Food to Families campaign. Lots of folks pitching in, Chad.
Oh yeah, Eric, and for 30 years we have been partnering with Greensboro Urban Ministry to try to feed our neighbors who need it the most, and it's really easy to do. You don't have to provide cash. You don't have to come down here with a $50 bill, even a $20 bill. It's so easy. You've been to the grocery store. You know how cheap some of the food can be, right? So over here, these are some of the donations right now. Fruit cocktail, great. Come down here, we've got some black-eyed peas. Corn, I mean, these can run, 20 cents a can depending on where you get it. And I mean, something as easy as mac and cheese. can go a long way for someone who doesn't have anything. We actually have 25 stores in our county right now in Guilford County where you can donate. Harris Teeter participating locations, Food Lion, as well as neighborhood Walmart markets. And we will be at this Harris Teeter until 6 o'clock today collecting items. If you can't make it today, you can also go tomorrow to any of these locations and make donations. If you can't make a food donation, feel free to scan the QR code on your screen and that will take you to a website where you can actually donate money. We're going to find out why the money is so important here coming up in just a couple of minutes, but before that, as you're thinking about the importance of donating, let me show you just how serious the need is in our community. This is video of the Greensboro Urban Ministry Food Pantry this week. You can see people are busy coming through this area. Organizers say they're serving about 60 households a day to 125 families. So the need is very great. Again, we're going to be hearing from someone from the Greensboro Urban Ministry here coming up in just a couple of minutes to help really kind of put a face to the importance of donating right now, guys.
Just the smallest donation can go a long way. Thank you so much, Chad. Tim, the weekend, it is looking great. I mean, today just felt beautiful.
Yeah, Lauren, it's really comfortable outside right now, and we're only going to get warmer heading into tomorrow. I think Saturday and Sunday both looking to be warmer than today, into the 70s, and today's been really nice. Take a live look over downtown Greensboro. It's all sunshine at the moment, hardly a cloud in that sky, and even though it was a cool morning, we've warmed up pretty nicely. Temperatures currently are in the upper 60s. Close to 70. It's basically room temperature, kind of that windows open weather if you'd like to do that in the house. Currently in your neighborhoods, low 60s up in the North Carolina mountains, upper 60s in the foothills, some low 70s the farther south and east that you go. And remember, this is the first day after our little front moved by yesterday, so we still have a little bit of a breeze blowing in, that cooler air from the north and from the west. But the main point is it's going to stay really nice. So if you have any plans this evening, they're good to go, whether that's a football game, of course, all of those are looking great, but you do want to bring along the jacket. When we have that low humidity like we do right now, it cools down fast after sunset, and we will be down into the 40s toward tomorrow morning. That's how you start your weekend, a bit of a chill in the air, but from that, you're going to warm up to this mid and upper 70s with all the sunshine you could want. Saturday is a perfect day of weather. We'll talk about Sunday coming up and look ahead in the 7 day to when that cold air starts to come back.
Hey, it's the end of the week, so you know what that means. Friday football fever!
Lauren's got it going on today. That's right. This week takes us down to the town of Climax. It's a battle between Providence Grove and Eastern Randolph. Voting was tight on this with the highest number of participants so far, actually. WFMY News 2's Sean Higgins is live from the field now. And Sean, this looks like this could be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right, Eric. As the season has gone on, we're getting right now down to the final stretch, and teams across the Triad, they're angling for some conference titles. This matchup between Providence Grove and Eastern Randolph is absolutely no different. Providence Grove enters this game 5-2 on the season, and after 1-1 in conference play. After starting the season 4-0, they've lost 2 of their last 3 games. They are looking to bounce back in a big way after a 30-14 loss to Randleman last Friday. But the Wildcats of Eastern Randolph coming to this one absolutely rolling, winning their last 6 games since their Week 1 loss to Eastern Alamance. They are undefeated in conference play this season and are coming off a very impressive 55-13 victory over conference rival Trinity last weekend. Now, towards the end of the season, these games get more and more important. Coming up in just a little bit, I'll be talking to Providence Grove players ahead of tonight's big game as they do look to bounce back. And of course, tonight at 11:17, you can catch Friday Football Fever for all the highlights from across the Triad. And that'll do it for me out here. I hope you stick with WFMY News 2.
Friday football fever, just love it. It brings me back to high school. I mean, everybody was getting ready for those games. I'm just glad the weather looks great for it.
Yes.
You know, we've seen some rain and some cold days, so tonight should be a good time for the kids.
Well, in Eastern Randolph, I mean, I know they're, I think they've only lost 1 or they're undefeated. They're undefeated in their conference,
okay,
but they've lost 1 game, and so they're kind of probably the favorite tonight, but you never know. You know, when 2 big teams get together, you don't know who's going to show up and who doesn't.
And that's what makes it a great game. You know, we say football games are often social events, but when you have a game like that,
Yeah.
a lot of people are going to be paying attention for sure.
Yeah, and again, you were right. The weather's going to be great. No reason for people not to get on out there. And this is the time of the year when our weather is trying to turn, it's trying to change, into fall. And tonight is picture perfect.
Looking forward
The
to
best.
it. And our own Jalen Gilkey is live at Providence Grove as well. But Jalen, I'm told you have a story about a very special family from Surry County that is very familiar with dominating on the football field.
Yeah, Lauren, that's absolutely right. East Surry High School has been one of the premier programs at the 1AA football level for years, and this year is no different. And the Cardinals are undefeated and looking to remain that way tonight against Forbush. However, a few weeks back, senior quarterback Folger Boaz, he left his mark in the history books, becoming the all-time passing leader for not only East Surry High School, but for the entirety of Surry County as well. And the person who he's replaced is someone very, very special to him.
Seeing my brother play in front of me was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had, learning from him and seeing how he did things. He led a team to win a state championship. I kind of looked up to that, and I'll never forget it. It's one of my favorite memories I'll ever cherish is him walking. There's about 2 minutes left in the state championship game, him walking off and hugging me, and me walking on the field. And ever since then, that was my position, and it was my role to be the leader of the team, and him hugging me and saying, "It's yours." They say that records are only a showing of the people around you. So, like I said, I've had some great people around me and good receivers and good up front, and my line's been awesome all 3 years I've been here.
That's right. Folger's older brother Jefferson held the record for the last 3 years until little brother came along and shattered it only 5 games into his senior season.
I'm unbelievably proud and shocked at how much he's grown up in the past few years. I'm stoked that he was able to do it. I always give him a hard time that it took him 3 years to do what I did in 1. So I will always be there. But, not only brothers, but we're best friends.
And younger brother Folger will be joining older brother Jefferson at UNC next fall. However, he will not be a part of the UNC football team. He'll be joining the baseball squad in 2023.
Just a talented family.
Yeah, no kidding.
That is an awesome story, but they're both going to be at UNC. I saw you put a little cheer up when you heard that.
Our
But
director,
that's
Brad,
pretty cool.
who's a state fan, was really upset that I was cheering about it. I will say this, East Surry, because that's my home county and I grew up in Mount Airy, but East Surry's always had really good football. Even back in the day before the wheel was invented when I was there, they always had really good teams. I mean, they were, and they continue that tradition now.
Wishing them the best of luck.
That's right.
We'll be right back.
That's on me. I just turned it off.
It should be coming on here in a second. Yep, okay, cool.
You know, some say we're approaching a major milestone in this area. This November marks the 30-year anniversary of WFMY News 2's Food to Families campaign.
It's a great campaign. For decades, we fed our community by supporting organizations that are working to keep the shelves of Triad food pantries full.
Thank you so much.
Look, Chad's already taking
donations. Already getting those donations.
Look at you. Look at you over there. Chad's out there. We talk about food insecurity. It's a big issue, and he's at the Harris Teeter at Friendly Center right now. Chatting up the folks, Chad.
I mean, they are just handing me cash at this point. We are so thankful for this donation. And I'm going to give it to Chip Berry. He is with Greensboro Urban Ministry. And what a great day it's been so far.
It has been wonderful. I've been to all the stores. The volunteers have been great. The donors have just been so generous. We've had people bring whole cartloads of groceries up to us, and it's just so humbling to see the outpouring of love in this community.
Being someone who is at the ministry day after day and seeing the stories and hearing the stories of the reasons that people donate, but also the reasons that people are coming to receive food, what would be an example of someone who comes to donate food?
We have all sorts of people who donate and who volunteer from all walks of life. We have a lot of people who have been clients and guests of ours in the past who come back and they want to give. We have one gentleman who comes every month and brings us money that he makes by selling his artwork. We have affluent people, we have congregations, we have civic clubs. We're supported by this entire community because Greensboro is a terribly, terribly generous community, and it's a community with a great deal of need too.
Speaking of that need, I imagine you hear a lot of stories from clients. Can you give us an example of, someone who might come in because they just need your help?
Right now, the probably the most common group of people coming in are working people who all of a sudden filling up their gas tank costs $100 more to get to work. Their rent has gone up. Rents have gone up for moderate income people from $750 to now $1,200 a month. At the same time, their food has gone up. So they're coming to us to get any sort of relief that they possibly can to keep their families fed.
Obviously, this is a food drive, but the money, talk about why the money is important.
We buy a lot of groceries too. We supplement what we get from the food drives, from what we pick up from grocery stores when they have leftover stuff, which we do every day of the week. We go out and we buy fresh vegetables. Apples are popular this year because they're in season, so we get pallets full of apples, we get broccoli, we get squash, we get all the things that make up a good diet so that everybody gets the same type of variety that you and I want when we shop at Harris Teeter.
And Tegna Foundation, which is our parent company, was honored to give you a check for $5,000 today to help with that need and to help fulfill that need. Chip, we do appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
The Tegna Foundation has been a long-time supporter, WFMY, a long-time supporter. We appreciate it very much, Chad.
Appreciate you. We're going to be right back.
All good news on your Friday afternoon here in the weather department. Everything's looking good and hopefully you've had a good day. You know, it started out really on the cool side as we've been telling you. Morning low was in the 40s across the whole area, 46 for Greensboro, but some of the outlying areas did get as cool as 37. This is how fall works though. Keep this in mind. You kind of know this. You can have a cold morning and a warm afternoon in the same day. We usually see a temperature spread of about 25 to 30 degrees, and that's going to continue into this weekend. So what about tomorrow? Well, high pressure is in control, but it's to the south. So when it's there, our wind flow is clockwise, and it's actually going to come in out of the south and west. That's our wind direction. So you can see what happens. We're going to take that warmth that's over in the deep south and move it our way. Not into the 80s, but we will be warm into the mid and upper 70s. So Saturday really warms up in a big way. Now Sunday, still staying warm. We're going to keep that air around, but take a look out to the west. Notice how there are some clouds, even a couple of showers. I do expect by Sunday afternoon, we're starting to see some weather changes. So this is how the both days of your weekend are looking to me. Saturday, not a cloud in the sky all day long, but Sunday, the morning starts out bright enough, and then in the afternoon, the sky kind of turns gray. Clouds will be thickening up for Sunday afternoon, and there is a chance of a couple of showers Sunday evening especially. You see these numbers though? This is the real deal. Next week, the mornings, kind of looking like winter for our area. Wednesday and Thursday morning both have real potential for some of the first frost of our season. That's not unheard of for around here, but on average, it's usually a little closer to Halloween for the first frost or the first freeze. We will keep you posted, but now's a good time to kind of take some action if you have plants you want to protect going into next week. 70s for the weekend, but you can see they're an endangered species after that. We have mid 50s. That's it for highs. Tuesday, Wednesday, still struggling to touch 60. By Thursday of next week, those cold mornings and cool afternoons are going to stick around a little while in your forecast.
All right, thank you, Tim. Before we head to break, we want to check in on our Food to Families drive. It's happening right now in Greensboro. Here's a live look from outside the Harris Teeter at Friendly Center.
We're collecting food donations here at 24 other participating grocery stores. If you can't make it out but still want to help, just scan the QR code on your screen for a link to our donation site. And our Chad Silver and others with WFMY News 2 will be there until 6 tonight. We'll check back in with him coming up in our following shows. Hey, Chad.
Did you say stand by? No, I said don't lose that edge. Oh.
Was someone talking to me? Oh yeah, hey there, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico.
One step to your right.
Hi, did you say bin mic check? I couldn't hear. It's a little loud out here right now. Hello?
And lets deputies listen to 911 calls in real time. Deputies would also see the exact location.
Hi, hello. It's Friday. It's something. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Across North Carolina, flags are at half staff. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep.
Doe, a deer, a female deer.
Love Lauren's fake news voice. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And we as a community need to come together to be there for those who need us now.
It's time for my 2 cents, and today I want to talk to you as a friend, as a fellow member of the Piedmont community, and as a North Carolinian, because we've all heard the news about the shooter situation in Raleigh, our state's capital. We use the phrase, too close to home, this hits close to home. We use that a lot in news, especially in these shooter situations, usually it means like, oh, a movie theater, we can identify with that. It happened at a school, we can identify with that. But hitting too close to home this time is literal. It's an hour and a half drive from wherever you are in the Triad, greater Triad region to get to Raleigh. That is literally too close to home. And it just made me reevaluate that phrase when this happens. This is too close to home in so many different ways. We feel for all those people, thoughts and prayers for everybody in the triangle that was affected by this. And it makes us realize, and I know we know this and we say it a lot, it can happen anywhere. The bottom line is, you call your loved ones, you go visit them, you hug your children, you hug your friends. You tell everybody that means something to you how much you love them and how much they mean to you. Because unfortunately in the world we live in, things can hit too close to home or they can hit at home. And I want all of us in the Triad to be aware of that and to love each other and take care of each other. It's really the bottom line for the reason we're here. And that's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts